Why are we here? It's the oldest question, one that has echoed through the halls of history, whispered in quiet moments of reflection, and shouted into the vast, indifferent cosmos. What is the meaning of it all? For centuries, the greatest minds in history have grappled with this fundamental question. From the bustling marketplaces of ancient Athens to the serene temples of the East, philosophers have offered a stunning variety of answers. Today, we're exploring their wisdom. Let's start with the ancient Greeks. Plato believed our world is just a shadow of a perfect, eternal realm of forms. For him, the meaning of life was to use reason to understand these forms and escape the cave of ignorance, ascending towards a higher truth. His student, Aristotle, had a more down-to-earth approach. He argued that everything has a purpose, or telos. For humans, that purpose is eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living well. It's about achieving your full potential through virtue and reason. This idea of fulfilling a preordained purpose dominated Western thought for centuries, often intertwined with religious belief. The meaning of life was to serve a divine plan, to follow God's will, and to secure a place in the afterlife. But then, the Enlightenment happened. The rise of science and skepticism began to chip away at these traditional certainties. If the universe wasn't designed by a divine creator, but was instead a vast, unfeeling machine, then where did that leave our purpose? This crisis of meaning gave birth to new philosophies. Enter the existentialists. Thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus stared into the abyss of a meaningless universe and didn't flinch. Sartre famously declared that existence precedes essence. There's no pre-made human nature or divine plan. We are born as blank slates. This sounds terrifying, but existentialists saw it as ultimate freedom. With no inherent meaning, you are free to create your own. You are the artist of your life, your choices, and passions the brushstrokes. It's a radical, beautiful responsibility. Camus compared the human condition to the Greek myth of Sisyphus, who was condemned to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity, only for it to roll back down each time. A pointless, absurd task. Yet Camus says we must imagine Sisyphus happy. Sisyphus's happiness is rebellion. By embracing the absurd, he defies fate. Meaning isn't found at the summit, but in the struggle itself, the conscious act of living through the relentless push. But what about a more Eastern perspective? In Buddhism, the core idea is that life is suffering, dukkha, caused by our cravings and attachments. The meaning isn't found by gaining more, but by letting go. The path to ending this suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path: right understanding, right thought, right speech, and so on. The ultimate goal is to achieve nirvana, a state of liberation from the cycle of rebirth and suffering, a profound peace. Nihilism, often confused with existentialism, takes a darker turn. The nihilist, like Friedrich Nietzsche in his early work, might argue that not only is there no inherent meaning, but any meaning we create is ultimately pointless. All values are baseless. Nietzsche, however, didn't stop there. He challenged us to become the Übermensch, or overman. This is a person who, recognizing the death of old values, creates their own, living life with such power and creativity that they would be happy to repeat it for all eternity. So where does that leave us? With a powerful choice. Is meaning something we discover, like a hidden treasure map left by Plato's Forms or a divine creator? Or is it something we build, a shelter we construct with our own hands, as the existentialists would argue? Perhaps the meaning of life isn't a single answer, but the question itself. The act of searching, of questioning, of striving to live a life that feels significant to you. Maybe that's the point. It's not a destination, but a journey of constant creation and reflection. You don't need to have a single grand purpose that defines your entire existence. Meaning can be found in the small things, in a moment of connection with another person, in the pursuit of a passion, in the act of kindness, in the appreciation of beauty. The universe may be silent on the matter, but our lives are not. We fill them with love, with struggle, with art, with knowledge, with laughter. We build meaning every day with the choices we make. The great philosophers didn't give us an answer. They gave us a set of tools. Now it's up to you to use them.